Hello, everybody. How are we doing? All right, so this is what, our fifth week here. So let's talk about, I want to hear I don't guess, I guess our progress reports from you all. What have you guys done in the last 5 weeks besides come see me a couple of times? What's going on? I want to see like progress, like what's happening? This is your interim report. Joey, what do you got?
Trying to get everything to work. A little bit of time with it. Well, this will be my third meeting. No, fourth meeting. I'm sorry, fourth. So I've been busy assisting one of the NRA training counselors here for the last couple of weeks with different rifle instruction, pistol, shotgun. So as for my own stuff, I haven't really been doing anything, but being able to assist this one particular group is something where you can learn a lot from the folks that hold their type of training.
Sure. No, that's a big
So
deal.
yeah.
That's a big deal. We do that on Saturdays. We let other instructors who come through our programs come hang out with us on Saturdays. Because you're not going to get that experience anywhere else. No, it's
Oh
valuable.
no.
It's very valuable.
And the people I met, I mean, I could get work out of the people that I met as well. And they had to do with two fellas ran the security for over 120 churches between Oklahoma and Kansas. Two other guys that were there, they are with the CLEAT, which is law enforcement training program, the main guys. So I met a lot of folks that I got their phone numbers, and things go good when you're able to be in that circle, which is difficult to get into.
Yeah, I say it every week. It's a boys club, but you got to get in the club. And there's lots of little clubs, and you got to kind of find your niche. We're going to talk little bit about your who or your niche today, but we'll hold off on that. Who else? What about Doug? You've been with us a long time.
Yeah, so just this past weekend, I had a small permit to carry class. Only had 4 students, but I had 4 at least.
Yeah, yeah, 4 is great. Yeah, that's a good. What do you charge for your students?
$95.
And that's a $400 Saturday. That's
No, I give them a discount if they bring their spouse or significant other. If they bring their spouse, they knock $30 off the spouse. I'm always trying to get couples to come together.
sure.
That's one of my goals. So yeah, I had a couple there. So $30 less for that couple. That's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. How long you been doing this?
I've been doing. I'm just coming up on 5 years here. So in Minnesota, where I'm from, that's the way when everyone's permits run out or need to be renewed. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting the emails out to all of the past students saying, "Hey, your permit's about ready to expire. Here's the list of my classes coming up. Love to have you out of class."
Yeah. Yep. Renewal's good. You don't have to do anything in Virginia to renew. I mean, you do. You have to go pay your fee, but you don't have to take another class, which is
It's the same class, the same requirements, everything. The fee is just a little bit different. It's a little less for renewal, but you got to sit through all my material, my goofy stories and everything.
okay. No, that's good. When's your next one?
Next class, I'm kind of busy with competition shooting USPSA coming up here. So my next class is until October 5th.
That's okay. So you do what, 1 a month, 2 a month?
I try to do 2 a month, usually the first Saturday and then 10 days later on a Tuesday. So I try to get the
Oh,
weekend,
yeah.
and then the people that work weekends can come to the class.
Right. I remember you telling me that last week. Okay. Very good. That's
I
fantastic.
also like to let you know that one of my other things that I teach is a suicide prevention class. I did one of those classes a week ago to a group of teachers. And I got recruited to be part of this suicide prevention group because I am a gun guy. And they wanted the perspective of a gun person to be teaching that, looking for signs and all that. So I did that as well. So that was kind of a big deal for me.
Oh, if you have a video or anything, post it in our chat here so we can if you have a YouTube video or whatever. That's interesting. I don't have any suicide prevention training. I do talk a lot about it in my instructor courses and to my range managers and owners about, especially if they rent firearms. The statistics are there's a suicide every 18 months if you rent firearms in your range. And I truly believe it should be part of the range brief, especially if you rent firearms.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like over the top. Hey, one slide. We love you. You have purpose. Here's a number kind of thing. Like, I do think we have to take some responsibility in that. Not a whole lot, but we do what we can to prevent it.
I opened up the class with it because a little bit of my personal story is, I lost my son to suicide by gun as well. So it's a little personal story there as to why I do what I'm doing and why I name my company what I name it. And I tie it all back to that ability to do some suicide awareness. So I start my class out with that, and then I end the class also with it, just to leave them with that message.
Can you give us the 2-minute story without making me cry? I got makeup on.
It's not much of a story. My son was a hunter and a shooter, and I mean, my company's name is Hat Trick Training because my son was also a hockey player, and through all his life, so this was the way I kind of tied him in with the name of the company. So I tell that little story, and we lost him just over 7 years ago, Memorial Day, suicide by gun. He lived in Texas, and we live here in Minnesota. So I didn't have the opportunity to see any signs or anything like that, but from everyone that was close to him, so it happened out of the blue, and nobody's seen it coming.
Can I ask how old he was?
He was 31 at the time, 31. So it was 7 years ago. He would have turned 38.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Almost every class, there'll be one person in the class that I can tell I struck a nerve with that person because they either were affected by it or something, there's always one person in the class.
Yeah.
So I add that suicide prevention, suicide awareness, that's another avenue of things that I teach.
That's great. I don't think there's very many people that teach that. So yeah, that's a really good, it's important. Two, it's a good stream of revenue. And is it just lecture? Do they walk home with any materials?
Well, they have some resource materials as far as who they can call, and basically all of the warning signs are put into a booklet, kind of a thing, what to watch for and that kind of stuff. So they do walk away with some materials. And if you didn't know, when you hear about the number of gun deaths in the country, it usually hovers around 45,000 ballpark, up and down a little bit. 2/3 of that is suicide. 2/3, 66% of it's suicide on average. And
I read those statistics this morning. An attorney friend of mine was posting about the shooting in Georgia, so they were talking about like gun statistics.
yeah,
It seemed pretty accurate.
it's plus or minus a little bit, but it
Sure.
runs around that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna pick on Chris and Darby here. You guys been with me a long time. What do we do this week? Besides look cute over there.
Floor's yours.
Oh, the floor is mine. Thank you, dear. We have got ourselves set up on Instructor's Dash. That was a big Chris and Lisa pushing me to take the little leap that I needed. But we got that set up. We were able to get our logo design and business cards, and so starting to get things rolling.
Starting the ball. Okay, so
Yes.
how are you gonna how are you gonna fill your classes? What are you doing to get, if you're all set up on our end, what are you doing to put butts in seats?
Word of mouth, I know with me, with coworkers, customers of mine that are interested. Also looking at the 25-mile radius,
Mhm.
checking into that. We were also trying to partner with what would you call it? Well,
Or no, Serengeti. My cousin has their own firearms instruction in Salisbury. So they were also like, we've been talking back and forth, and they have a lot of people that are up on our end that don't want to travel over the bridge. And they're like, well, when you guys get going, let us know, because they have people waiting to send our way.
So you guys can do, that's really great, actually. You guys can put their classes on Dash and just
Okay.
go back and forth, and like on their website, they'll put your stuff based on location. Now you have two places where your your classes are posted. And I can't say this enough, the more places your classes are posted with a checkout system, the more sales you're gonna bring in. So yeah, put them on Dash and figure out the logistic part, you know?
Yeah. I will definitely talk to them. I know they've been up and running for a couple of years
Yeah,
now,
a few
I want to
years,
say.
They are
Yeah,
not gonna to object saying, hey, we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
put your stuff on our website.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not. They've already, like, I don't want to say they're kind of taking us under their wing, but there's certain things that we've had question with that we weren't 100% sure on how to do. And they're like, well, just come down, we'll sit down, we'll talk about it all, we'll go over everything. And it's like, okay, that works.
No, I mean, if you have somebody who's gonna give you their secrets, man, jump on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I didn't really. I volunteered a lot for other instructors, and then just watched them and took notes
Mhm.
and figured out what they did well, what they didn't do well, and just did it better. So I think that's great. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, what else we got? Anybody else? Mr. Roger, you've been with me forever. How are you guys doing? What did you do this week to go and grow?
Well, nothing this week, but I do have a class on the 28th. Two married couples coming on the 28th.
Do they know each other? Is it kind of like
No, they do not know each other.
they don't know each other?
No.
Okay. So
They don't
are
know
you
each other.
stopping at 4? Because 4 is a good number.
Yeah, well, the week before that, well, now let's see. Last month I had 6. So,
Do you,
but I also had Jamar to come out and help me.
okay, I was like, can you do 6 by yourself?
Yeah, I had Jamar come out and help me.
And what are you teaching?
I teach I was teaching the basic and the CCW.
I don't. So the NRA basic course, like
Yes.
their whole program. Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right.
Well,
Anybody else want to jump on real quick? Because
let me say this. Last weekend, I don't know if I remember you. If you remember me telling you, one of my hobbies is long range and extreme long range shooting. And so last weekend I went to my long range shooting trip, and I hit my goal, my target, 2,165 yards.
Okay. I don't know what that is. So how many yards are in a mile?
Well, that equals to like 1.2 miles.
1.2 miles.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How big's your target?
It was actually a piece of wood. It was a big piece of wood. So, and the wind was like 11 miles per hour. So I don't know if anybody know about scope holdovers and mills. Okay, anyway, yeah. So, but
I might come down. You're in the beach, right? You're in Virginia Beach?
I'm in Suffolk.
In Suffolk. Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty close. I might come down, take one of your classes. I've never done that.
Okay.
That's very
Yeah,
cool.
So that was pretty exciting.
Has anybody else shot over a mile? Well, tell me what were you shooting?
I was shooting 300 Win Mag.
That's a big ass round.
Yeah, it's a pretty big rifle. Yeah.
Okay.
300 Win Mag.
Okay. All right. Well, fantastic. So good job, guys, this week. Go and grow and go. That's what I'm gonna call it. Grow and go. So there's a lot of activity. If you're not on our Facebook group on the business side of firearms, so please feel free to join us. There was a lot of talk back and forth this week on our group about marketing and what is the best way to market. And I know I talk about this all the time, and most people in this group are here for finances, right? And I can't express how important it is to invest in your business. If you're not putting money in your business, it's a hobby. I don't want to sound mean, but it is. And sometimes hobbies grow into businesses, right? So I don't want to discourage you. But there was a comment on there. Somebody said something about Instructor Stash. If you don't know, I own Instructor Stash. Instructor Stash is not a marketing platform. It is what's called a CRM or a SaaS, a software as a service. It organizes all your customers' simple transactions. It's a website. It does everything, but you have to get people to go there. You have to get people on your website, whether it's Instructor Stash or your own personal website. So how are we doing that? Let's see if I can share this real quick. Okay, this week I think I did it right. Right. All right, you can see my second page here. Okay. You have to run Google Ads. Facebook is for branding, and Google is for selling. Is for more marketing, right? So branding can equal selling, but it's more like a billboard with a Nike sign on it. That's branding. It's just putting your logo in front of your face all the time, right? So Google is how you're attracting people to your page. And it depends. Listen, you don't have to be techie to do this, right? I've given this number out 100 times, I think. You can call Google and they will do it for you. And they will set up your account. They will set up your ads. They will go over everything for you and with you, right? And this is not something I'm selling or anything. This is literally off their site. They will give you $500 in ad spend or ad credit when you spend $500, right? So that is their number. You have to run ads, and they don't have, and they're good. Don't forget, they're in it to make money. So they're going to tell you to spend, $40 a day or whatever. It's really not necessary. You can spend $3 or $5 a day and just let it run. It does take time. It takes time for your ads to ramp up and to get the little bots run through it, right? To start picking up your keywords and things like that, and to start pushing you to the top of your Google page. Also, what you want to do is make sure your Google, let's see if I can share mine real quick. Your Google business page is up and running and verified, and all of this is free. Okay, so here's mine. This is kind of the back end of it. Everybody got that? Somebody give me a thumbs up that you can see my Google. Yeah, okay. So this is my Google page, right? And this is not what clients see. This is what I see because I'm logged in, right? I'm logged in as the user. So see this little check mark right here? It's really important. That means I'm Google verified. And sometimes it's a giant pain in the ass to do that because most of us do not have a brick and mortar location. And I would highly recommend you never ever sign a lease somewhere in our business. You don't need it. You just need a room on the weekends. You don't need to get yourself bound up in a lease. Don't do that. Okay, so this is my back end, but this is what you need to create. This is your Google business page here. Your Google business page is really important. It's how people find you. And you need to add photos to it. And they can be generic photos or whatever until you actually have actual class photos. Make sure your people sign a photo waiver that should be in your waiver. And that your Google reviews are up and running also. Because how many of you have looked somebody up and looked at their Google reviews, right? And called them for service or not called them for service, right? Because their Google reviews are bad. So I'm very happy I have, 5-star rating. But this is really important. Also, what this does is your phone number. Remember, we already talked about your phone number. If you don't want your personal number on here, get a Google Voice number. It's free. It rings to your cell phone. Super simple. Has your hours of operation on here. I do take a Sabbath. I try not to answer the phone too much on Sundays, unless the house is empty or whatever. And then it has your map on here, which again is a little bit difficult for us because I don't, I do my admin on my couch or my office, right? So I just have a general area of where we are instead of like my home address, right? So those things are important. Your website, and you can put your instructor dash site here. And all your photos. Photos are big too. I think I have like 50 photos on mine. And then when you're done with this one, you can go do like, what's another search engine, Bing or whatever. Go get those done so people can find you. That's important. What's also important is when you do Google Ads, so when you do your Google Ads, that you have something called keywords in there and negative words. All right, so what are negative words for my particular business? So I live in Northern Virginia, right? My keywords are like DC carry permit. I don't offer that. And a lot of people look for that. So if somebody clicks on your ad, it's going to cost you 50 cents. And then they're going to go through your site and realize that you don't offer what they need. So it's really important that your keywords match what you sell. So I've had, in the last 30 days, I've spent $235 on Google Ads, which is not very much. Usually it's at like 600. But I've been spending more on Facebook ads this month, and I'll talk about that later. But so I've had 533 clicks on directly to my site looking for my product. And here are some of my keywords. And these are my top keywords that I use and I pay for. So carry concealed Virginia is the top keyword that people search when looking for a permit class. So 13 people clicked on that, and it cost me $14.97 for those 3 clicks. So it's like $1.10 each, right? But those go directly to my site. Carry and concealed permit to, let's see if I can do this way. Yep, carry concealed permit, carry concealed Virginia class, carry permit Virginia. See, it all says all the same thing, just in 20 different ways. Concealed carry permit online. Oh, that's supposed to be on my negative. Why do I not want that on mine? We can't do online courses in Virginia. So that goes up here to negative, add to negative keywords. Right? Gun license for gun permit. See how I excluded that, right? Really important. That cost me $2.29 because I didn't have that one clicked. All right, here's my negative keyword list, which is super duper long. Look how long this is. It just keeps going. Those are things I don't want. I don't want to pay for them because it's not going to bring me business, right? I'm not a gun range. I don't want USCCA. I'm not archery, HQL class. We don't offer that in Virginia. Buy a gun. I'm not a store. I don't sell firearms. DC carry class online, concealed carry permit, Arizona. I don't know why. It's just every time I go through my list, I add more to my negative list. I don't teach law, license. I don't sell gun purses. So this list is really long. So every month or so I go through here and I catch a couple of ones I don't want to pay for, right? Because it's not a service or a product I offer. So everything else in here. Sometimes my name's in here. I think that's funny. Yeah, so it's about, I'm going to say it's roughly $1 to $1.25 a click. So if you're spending $3 a day, you're driving essentially 3 to 6 people to your site. And that's okay to start small, right? And then we have this called keywords themes, which is just kind of like in a short few sentences what you are, right? I'm an NRA trainer, CCW permit, carry permit, gun safety courses. That's my business, live fire instruction, all of those things. So super simple. And I just run one ad. You can run 40 ads if you want, and Google will kind of rotate through them. And here's all my statistics. And I've been posting a lot of things on YouTube, like these trainings have been going on YouTube. So I've been getting some traffic from there as well. As you can see, not a whole lot, just a couple. And then Google's so smart. They'll tell you what time of day, what's your popular hour that people book classes, which I find often in the afternoon, right here, as you can see, between 12 and 6 people. And then sometimes it's between like 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Like people will sign up for my classes. So again, all of this is, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't have to be overwhelming for you. You can do it yourself. You can call and have somebody do it for you and walk you through it. But you can start here. Go and claim your page. And this was really difficult for me because there was something else called live fire instruction, like 6 blocks from me. And I don't know if I did that like 5 years ago and I messed it up, but to go through that and make sure everything, because everybody was going to this empty page, there was nothing on it. It was actually a gun store, Trojan Arms and Tactical, that's where it said my business was, right? So I don't want to do that to my gun store I partner with. So it took me like a month to fix it. So go ahead and claim, start your business on Google, right? That is free. It just takes work. Set it up, find some pictures, put your location, your time, get a Google phone number if you need to. Mm,
Lisa, can you, question about the ads. What does an ad look like and where does it show up?
okay, sure.
If you can help us with that.
So this is my ad right here. That's it. So weapons permit, CCW Virginia, those are all keywords. I don't use the word weapon in my life, but the most sought after word in Google is weapon. So to get more traffic in my ad, it says weapon permit class CCW. And then it kind of rotates through these 5, no experience needed or gear. CCW course weekly, easy and fun. No experience necessary or gear needed. There's one more. I think there's 3. We're good down here to edit ad. So this is the actual ad here, right? There's no pictures. Remember, this is Google, like you type in Google, right? So I have 4 headers I made. CCW carry permit in Virginia, no experience or gear needed. CCW courses weekly and fun. Weapons permit in Virginia. And here on this here is what it looks like on your phone, right? So you have an ad, right, which is this part here, and then you have the description down here. And here's the description. You get 90 characters. Try to use as many as possible. CCW in-person courses available weekly, Fairfax, Virginia. Safety beginners, NRA, and CCP, right? Super, super, super simple. Private lessons and group classes available. Calls for additional information. Courses held every Thursday and Saturday. So the AI part of Google will rotate through that and pick up what what attracts the most clicks. So they're in the business of making money. So they want the most clicks possible, right? To charge me as much as they can. So they're going to go through and figure out what works the best. Let me see if I can pull it up. Sometimes it won't let me because I'm logged in. And see, we're right here. We're number 3. And these are one of my guys came through my course, and I think they're beating me because they have more reviews. Good for them. Okay, so that's where it is. What questions do you have? You have to do this. You're not gonna win unless you have a stream. What is your stream? How are you getting butts and seats? Getting butts and seats is how we pay our mortgage and buy your motorcycle you want. So how do I do this? I do this, I do Facebook, and I partner with our local gun shop. They let me put their stuff in there. I have a partnership with Cabela's that I have all my information at their gun counters because I give back to them and I teach there for free 4 times a year to their clients. I teach a 1-hour gun safety class, super simple, don't look down the barrel kind of class. So it's a win for everybody. And then when the gun shop I partner with, I'd send all my business to them. I tell them, don't go anywhere else but here. It's a good shop. I mean, I put my name on it. It's a good shop, but that's our trade is they give out my information and I send them new clients all the time. Everybody, every week, where do I go? This is the only place you go. So everybody wins. And then I have a partners page. So on my website, I have a partners tab, right? That these are the other businesses that I partner with, right? And this is where I send people. So that's a way that everybody wants. I was talking about Chris and Darby, like partnering up with other people to send business back and forth is a big deal. And my website again is super simple. The less clicks people have to do is the way more business. There are a lot of sites out there that are really dynamic and they have a lot of information. It's too much information. The people well, again, it depends on who your clientele is. But if you're new, looking for the new shooter, the first time shooter, CCW, stuff like that, they're just looking for a ticket to book a sale. If you know you're like these Toms and all these famous instructors, which I am not, you know, having all that dynamic website is important to them because it has their history on it. To me, I'm not that person. I want to sell seats and get in and get out. And I think it's like three clicks on my site, right? I only offer 4 things on purpose. I don't want to offer 400 classes. This is it. I know who my audience is. My target audience is the new shooter and people looking for CCW courses, mostly CCW courses here again, because that's what we need here in Virginia. So depending on your law, right? Everything's right on the front page. They don't have to go look for anything. That's it. Super simple. So 1, 2, 3, it's 4 clicks to buy a ticket from us. And the less clicks, the better. Get in and get out. It's complicated. They're going to go down the list and find somebody else. All right, what questions do you have? That was a lot. All right,
Yes, I'll add some more commentary. I set up my Google business page a while back when I first got my website built and all set up, and
Mhm.
it uncovered the fact that somewhere in the default programming of a WordPress website, I forget the exact term, like bot crawler or web crawler, was turned off. In other words, your site cannot be found by the crawlers.
Okay.
Like, that was kind of a dumb default to have, but I didn't even know there was such a thing until my Google page said this page is not being found because it was turned off. That page was not being found.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing either.
Yeah.
Where did you build your site through?
I had someone build it for me.
Is it like you said it's a WordPress site?
That's WordPress.
Yeah.
And I really liked the way it came out. It looked nice. It's real simple. It's real easy, but I wasn't getting any, I kept trying to search for myself and it would never come up.
How's it now?
I mean, now I do get lots of, I don't know about lots for me. People will come in and say they found me via searching for Minnesota permit to carry, permit to carry class near me, that kind of, search terms.
All right, let's talk about Thank you so much. But let's talk about one more tool. And I want to talk about, and this is something I'm just getting kind of into, which is when you have a WordPress site or Instructor's Dash, we'll just use Instructor's Dash because we're here, but it is blogging with keywords. So simple blogs like how to get your state permit, but in that blog are all your keywords. Remember we just talked about the Google keywords, right? So let me show you this. Let me show one I already made. So this is real simple. I did this last week in 5 minutes because now AI writes it for you. I don't know if I like that or I don't like that. You know, I'm still kind of very confused about AI. I don't know if it's like the angel or the devil. I'm not quite sure, or something, you know, in between. But it's really important to have just one section of not difficult, we're not overcrowding our site, of blogging, not because you care if anybody reads it, you could care less. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to drive people to your site. So, and make sure like you have tags in it. Meta title, SEO tags, descriptions. Actually, I'm going to go back one. This is the one I did today. I wrote this blog in like 3 minutes. Now, I'm not even being sarcastic. So I was testing it because this is a new feature on our Instructor's Dash. And I took some training on SEOs and tagging. So I just wrote how to become an NRA instructor, right? When you have AI do things for you, you have to tell them what to do, right? So you have to give them directions. I gave them not even a full sentence, right? Becoming an NRA pistol instructor is easy and fun. That was the directions I gave them. They wrote this whole thing and it was completely accurate. I didn't change one word on it, which you probably should go in and make sure it sounds like a human and not a robot. But what I wanted to look down here was this. This is the part that's important. Your meta description for SEOs is really important. That brings, so when the little robots go through, they're going to pick up all these keywords. And when somebody says, how do I become an NRA instructor? It'll pull me up on the front page because I've blogged about it. So this does take a couple of months for the little robot guys to go through and pick up your keywords. So you have meta title for SEO, meta description, and meta keywords. And this does it all for you. So if you're not blogging, and this is like a super generic 30-second training on this, go on YouTube and really look up blogging and SEO. If you don't know, sorry, if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization, SEO. And it's how to get people to your site for free, essentially. So if you're not on Instructor's Dash, this is on, it's a brand new feature. It's not even formally released yet. I haven't released it, but even if you use Dash or not, I don't care. But on your site, you should have some blogging with SEO in it. And sometimes there's a monthly subscription for that. Sometimes it's a, like if you're on WordPress, sometimes it's a free, it's like a drop-in. I forget what that's called. Doug, what's that called?
Plugins,
What is it?
plugin.
Oh yeah, thank you. Plugin, a free plugin. So what we care about is that it has those features built into it. So when the robots go through, they can pick it up. And this will drive business to your site, but you have to spend time and build that out. And if you're going to start doing it, you can use instructorsdash.com or you can go find a plugin and do it for yourself. But it does drive a lot of business that if you don't want to pay for ads, this is a good way to do that, especially if you keep it very local. to you. Like I'm in Northern Virginia, right? So how to get your permit in Northern Virginia, how to get your permit in Manassas, how to get your permit in Arlington. It's all the same. The answer's the same, right? But those key words are different, which is going to drive traffic to your site. So you can come hang out with us on Instructor's Dash or do it yourself, whatever. Just make sure it has those functions in it. I'm super lazy and slightly dyslexic, so having an AI generator in it is really beneficial to me because, and then you have to go in and proofread it because we're in the gun industry and AI is probably not our friend. All right, I got some things here. Let's see our chat real quick. Gun Owl. Hi, Gun Owl. I was just wondering if, sorry, I'm reading one of the chats. I was just wondering if $39 a month is for hosting a website is overpriced. It includes some website updates. I don't know the answer to that question because $39 is not a lot. We charge what, $49 for our site, right? Or $47. But does it have a checkout system? And is paying for voice service on Google at $300? That is something needed. I don't know what that is. Is paying for voice service on Google at $300 something I needed? I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say no. If your site does not have a checkout system, $39 is you should not be paying for that. It needs to have a checkout system. There's no point in having a website if people can't check out. This is what we do. We sell seats. Yes, we're in the gun industry, but we sell movie tickets and concert tickets. This is what we do. We sell tickets to our product. So I'm going to say no, Mr. Gun Owl. No, I'm going to say I wouldn't do that. Unless there's maybe a caveat, if you can put in a plugin for a checkout system. No, so Google will not call you and charge you money to add you to their voice system. That is a third-party company, and that's not real. They call me every day. Your Google Voice is not verified. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. I mean, you can pay for it and it might work really well, but that's not Google. Okay, what else you got? What questions, comments?
I have something, Lisa.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think my biggest thing is the material. Keep buying the material over and over and over. I know you have to offer it to the students, but it would be nice if they wouldn't take it home so I can reuse it again.
Oh, you're talking about the NRA material?
Yes.
So I'll catch everybody up. What he's talking about is when you teach NRA products, first steps, basic pistol, you have to buy their book. And that's how the NRA makes money. So they host they post your classes on their website for free. They don't charge anything for that except every 2 years you pay, what is it, $25 or $35 for your credentials. So that's how the NRA Education and Training Department makes their money, is by selling materials. They are a little bit expensive. I won't lie to that. I don't know what they have a new shipping program. So it used to be $18.30, and then I think it's now I think it's a little bit less because their shipping is like on like you can get bulk shipping, I think, something like that, I read. So I just buy boxes of books at one time, and then I don't worry about it for a long time because I don't want to buy books every week and hope they come in on time. And I think USCCA is anybody here a USCCA instructor? It was not mandatory at one point for USCCA to buy their books for teacher products, but I think that might have changed. So you have to ask a USCCA instructor for that. So it's kind of a trade-off, Roger. Like you get to use their site and all their slides, and then you're going to pay them a book fee.
But we have to offer the material to the students, right?
Yes. If you do not, so what they're going to look is like you sold 50 seats last year and you bought 50 books. It needs to be a really close number.
I mean, I buy the books. I buy the books, but
What's the price now with shipping? Do you know?
it's, let me see. I bought 4 books. Wait, the packet, the books, the little safety card, the packet.
Yep.
So I brought 4 of those, and it came up to, I think, with shipping came up to like $69.
Oh, so it's less, 17.25 instead of 18.30. It's $1 less now. That's good.
Like $69 and some change.
Yeah, 17 and some change per person. You just include that in your price. If you're gonna charge $100, then charge 120.
So,
Yeah, and it's a tax write-off.
oh yeah, which I do use it for that.
And
Yeah.
I always tell my people in my classes, I'm like, this is my gift to you. I just really want you to like have all the everything you need. So I just kind of like, it's a gift from me, but they don't know they make me buy it. All right. I also want to say something else about the NRA. I've seen in our group and other groups on Facebook, like NRA getting a lot of hate this week. Um, I'm not sure people know what the NRA is for. The NRA is an education and training. The NRA was started before education and training on marksmanship. Not defensive shooting. We're not selling insurance. Not even 2A lobbying. It was started for defensive marksmanship and the sport of marksmanship, that the next generation could shoot better than the one before. And I think people forget that when they start talking about the NRA and what they teach. That's their heart, is marksmanship and the basics. Basic everything. Basic rifle, basic pistol, basic shotgun. And then when your student is looking for something else, then you take them to the CCW course that they have that is a little bit advanced, but then it pretty much stops there. And then if you want, it's your job to take them, clearing a house, moving and shooting, those things there. But the heart of the NRA, and again, I don't speak for the NRA, but the heart of the NRA is marksmanship and the first time gun owner. And they do that very, very well. And it's very clear in their products and their slides. I agree with about 95% of their slides are really great. There's a couple that are confusing, but that's what the heart of the NRA is. Now, USCCA is an insurance company. That's what they are. And I believe it's law that they have to educate if they want to sell products. If they want to sell insurance products, they have to have an education department. So their heart is defensive shooting. And now they have a new director, education training director, who's very good, has stopped and revamped some of that. to focus more on the first time shooter, the basic shooter, and not teach somebody to draw on their first day on the range. Right. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm really tired of people talking smack about the NRA. Listen, if the NRA wasn't here, none of us would be having this conversation. We'd be carrying pocket knives and baseball bats. And then those would be outlawed.
Hey, Lisa,
Yeah.
Alex here in
Hi.
Tampa. So I read some of those comments as well. I and you know this very well. You've been here a while in the industry. You know there's A to Z when it comes to how other folks view instructors, training counselors, the education department within the NRA or the USCCA across the board, right? You know, things that happen in Georgia, I can't do in Florida. Like, it drives me crazy when I see people trying to train people, like if they're drawing from a Safari Land holster outside the waistband, like if we're running around, you can't do that in Florida. So why would you teach somebody that? But hey, to each their own, right? But it's when people jump and say, well, I've read a lot of the stuff that goes on that business, page, and it's a lot of crap. It's for bottom feeders, right? When I find that very interesting because, okay, that's fine. That's your take on it. But well, go sell Ferraris then. Then go teach everybody how to run and gun, right? You don't have to come on and give that type of explanation. But as we know, everybody, and that's a word that I stopped using when day one that I became a cop. I stopped using the word everybody. Most people today are keyboard warriors, and they want to give you their perspective as loud as possible because that's how they feel. So, and you have to remember, you are a massive threat to the community, to a lot of dudes running around bearded, feeling mad. They got their kid on, and here's Lisa stealing their clientele, and they're like, "Where'd you learn that shit from?" Like, you know what I mean? So I get it, right? And that's just where, I tell some people a lot of times, hey, look, that's perfect. If you want to go do that, that's fine. But as a guy that did that for over 32 years, I can tell you that's not realistic. That's not how it's going to go down. And by the way, you're going to go to prison, right? So keep messing around and trying to do things that are not realistic. Like, it's fun. Like, I had a guy this weekend at the gun show. God bless his heart, Lisa. He came to me and he said, I want the John Wick series of all of his guns. I was like, that's great. What are you going to do? Collect them? No. I want to go learn how to shoot them all and do the things he does. I was like, all right, you got 30 acres somewhere where you're sitting out by yourself? Because you can't run down here in downtown Miami that way, right? And he's just like, well, you leave that to me. I was like, well, you have a great day, my good sir, right? But he was ready, pocket full of cash, ready to hand over thousands of dollars. But you are correct, right? So we have to know our clientele. We have to know our base, right? We really have to know our base. And that's kind of just my message in support of what you were just saying, because a lot of people, you're right, a lot of people don't know when the NRA was founded in 1871, it was because of poor marksmanship, because that colonel was mad that his people couldn't shoot well enough. And here we are 200 years later, and we're still trying to figure out people how to get that shooting. So good kudos on you. Good point on you. And you were correct about the USCCA. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? We're at 7:57. Oh, I do want to say this. Please put this in your book. Next week, we're going to be starting at 6:30 to 7:30. I have some family obligations at 8. So next week, 6:30 to 7:30. 6:30 to 7:30. All right. Anybody else? Questions, comments, good, bad, ugly? Do something this week. Do one thing this week. And push your business forward. I'm in a whole new territory, and it's painful to push through that. I don't even have, like, I was trying to talk to my husband about it. I didn't even have words for it. Like, I just laid on the couch. I was like, this sucks. Starting something new sucks. None of us here are young and vibrant. Like, I'm 45. I got to do this shit again. Like, it'd be like it'd be like me getting pregnant at 45. I'm like, I got to do this again. God, what are you thinking? Right? So you have to push through the suck. And I'm pretty much talking to myself. Push through the suck. Give and it will be given to you. Press down, shaken together, running over. That's my heart. That's where I'm going to stand. I'm going to keep doing these as long as people show up. And give all away all my secrets. If you're not in our, do my plug-in real quick. If you don't have our business training, it's free. Write this down. bullseyebusinessblueprint.com. It's free. bullseyebusinessblueprint.com. Again, it's several hours of training. Goes into details for some stuff. Please go download that. Again, it's 100% free. And then if you need a website, I'm always going to tell you go Instructor Stash. We're a good product, very simple. We look really great on mobile devices. More than 80% of your sales are going to come from mobile device. Please keep that in mind. A lot of web developers and designers, they design their products on, 5 screens, right? They're making you what I saw somebody was a Doug $1,700 for a website. It's a lot of money. And then when it looks on mobile device, looks all crazy. But it looks great on your PC and iPad. But when you get to a mobile device, it doesn't work out real well. So just keep that in mind. I was talking in this conversation at the range the other day of like the user experience. What does your client see when they check out? What does the client receive in email? What does it look like? All of those things. So I know what it looks like on your end. What does it look like on the client's end? And what's their experience for that? So just keep that in mind when you're making your sites, and go write a couple blogs this week. Figure out how that works for your site. If you're on Instructor Stash, you just click the button. Super easy. And start letting the bots get through and start getting your name on top of the Google page. Push through the suck. That's our theme this week. All right, what else? Anybody? That's all I got. It's gonna be a good day. Okay. You all have my email, class@livefireinstruction. If you need anything, I'd be happy to answer questions. Okay? I'll see you next week. What time? 6:30. All right, y'all. Bless you. Have a great week. See you soon.